This will be the first English interview. This will be the first video in English. Sylvia Creates. It's an artist I found on Instagram. I'm time traveling. I'm recording this after the interview. It was a really nice interview. She has so many stuff to say, to share, to great perspective of the world, and I'm really grateful to her. To you, Sylvia, if you're watching this, thank you. So let's head to the interview.
All right.
So hi.
Hi.
How are you? I don't even remember how did I find you. In the first place, I've been searching. I don't know. Not searching. Searching is not the word. Surfing.
Just browsing.
Yes, browsing. First of all, how old are you?
I'm 26.
You're 26. All right, you
Yeah.
seem to be younger. And
Yeah. Do well?
and where are you from?
So I'm originally from Hungary, Eastern Europe, and after high school, after I turned 20, I moved to America to be an au pair. And after my visa was up, I came to England, to London, to visit my best friend at the time. And so I was going to stay for a week or two and then go back to Hungary to start school. And I was going to study landscape architecture. But while I was in the States, I applied for an art school. And when I was here in England, so first of all, when I arrived to England, it was the beginning of summer. And so school wouldn't have started until September. So I was thinking, if I got a job, then I would stay for the rest of the summer, and then I go home to start school. If I don't get a job, I'll just stay for a week or two and then go home. Yeah. And so I landed on a Thursday, and on Friday I knew I can go to work on Monday. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm staying for the rest of the summer. And meanwhile, I found out that I got accepted at this university back in the States. And so I called the school, and they were suggesting me to stay in London and make money here because the currency is better here, and I could start school online. So I was gonna start learning graphic design. So I was like, well, home, like I could go home and study landscape architecture for free because I won a scholarship, or I could stay in England and work my ass off and study my ass off, and hopefully I can go back to the States if I save up enough money, because then I could get a student visa. So I was like, okay, let's do the hard way. Work my ass off, study my ass off. I had nights when I didn't sleep because I had 2 jobs. I didn't have time to study throughout the day, so I was doing my homework throughout the night, and I had to go to work in the morning. So I was like crazy. Until this day, I have no idea how I did it. So I was doing this type of lifestyle for a year.
Yeah.
And then I was counting and just just doing a sum up like of the whole year. And I realized that this is not going to work out because I'm not able to take as many classes as I want at the time, because I'm paying everything out of pocket, and it's just, paying my rent, my food, transportation, and school. It was just, I couldn't save up enough. So I'm like, if I can't somehow win the lottery or something, this is gonna take 10 years to finish, all my courses online. And it's still not a guarantee I'm gonna get a job as a designer. So I'm like, I'm just dropping out and find a different way to get into design. Because at that time, all I knew, I just wanted to do something creative related, because I've always been just like, I just, whenever I got to make something pretty or look interesting or express myself visually, it's always made me happy. So I just knew that's the sort of career I want to gravitate towards to. So I was like, I'm just dropping out of school now, and I find a different way to get into design. And so months passed by. I had no idea what I'm gonna do. And then eventually, I was thinking, if I could work for a company that knew I don't have a degree nor experience, but I'm here and I'm happy to learn as much as I can. If they just pay me enough to survive and I could just be here for a little while and get a bit of experience, then maybe I could break into design and like start that as a career. So, but the problem was I didn't know a way, because I thought in order to get an internship or some sort of experience with a company, I have to be at school and do it through school, which I wasn't, I wasn't part of. So I was like, I don't know how to do this. Anyway, so I started talking to people until one of them asked me, why are you not an apprentice? And I'm like, I have no idea what it is. And he's like, look it up. It's exactly what you just described. I'm like, really? So I Googled it, looked it up, and I got into an apprenticeship with a digital product design company. So they're basically designing websites and mobile applications, and they're really creative. So they took me on board, and I was with them for 13 months, and yeah, they paid me just enough to survive, but after 13 months I had enough experience to build up a portfolio and start getting junior design roles. And now I've been a designer for 3 years, a little bit over 3 years. So yeah, so now I'm here in London, England.
It's amazing, the story is amazing. Okay, it's all about passion, all right? With you, it's all about passion. That's one of the questions I had. Let's follow the script. We can go there in a while. When did you start creating?
When did I start creating? Like professionally or just generally?
Generally.
My life. I don't know. Ever since I can remember, I was always like drawing something. I was always like, so I have 2 brothers, but they moved out by I turned 9, because they moved in with their moms. So they're half brothers from my dad's side. So they lived with me until I was 9, and then they moved out. So I was on my own. And so my mom would send me to my cousins. They were like my friends, or like, children around me. They were on the same level with me. I could play with and do stuff. So I was always like, when I was hanging out with my cousins, I would be like, okay, we're gonna do this video. I have this idea. You guys, this is your role. This is your role. This is what you're gonna do. And I would start just, for the fun of it, I start recording them and like put a little story together. I was like, oh, I have an idea to, do a choreography. And I didn't even know how to dance, but I was like, okay, this is the choreography, do it after me. And I would like make them sit there and do it with me, and until we like finished it, and then we could show it to someone just for the fun of it. So I guess I was always trying to like somehow express myself creatively. It was just in me. I just didn't really know like it was ever like a possibility as a career-wise, or like how to pursue it. I didn't know. I just knew I liked doing it, because back in school, like elementary school, high school, like throughout my education, I wasn't very much exposed to like artsy stuff. We had art class, but it was just like going in and paint something, but it wasn't like I was never really exposed to like truly arts, you know what I mean?
Yes.
My mom signed me up for violin lessons since I was 9 until I was 20. So I was playing the violin for 13 years. That was something artistic and present in my life as an artistic,
musician.
Yeah, still I guess. But I don't know, like, and don't get me wrong, like I'm really glad that I'm educated musically, but I feel like what my soul has always craved was, more like visual creativity. Yeah,
and I can see it. Your Instagram is like full of it. When I went into your blogs, I loved it. The first photo, it's amazing. I love these fantasy worlds, all right?
Yeah.
That the first photo with your I don't want to call it slogan. It's not a slogan. It's a poem, I guess. Art makes us.
Art makes us feel.
Yeah.
Feelings make us think. Thoughts make us act. Actions make a change.
That's
just yeah.
And I really like that one. That's like the first thing you see. It's the one that describes you the most. I started digging because I thought, well, this girl likes editing, photo editing. Then I discovered the blogs. I okay, it's video, it's photos, pictures, images, whatever. And then, of course, poetry. You are a writer. And then I started digging even more, and I found out that you play the guitar and you sing also. And then it's, how many things do you do?
Yeah, I do all of those things.
And you draw also, which
I
is
do.
now less to say because great drawings, by the way. And how many things do you do? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you pretty much listed everything I do. So yeah, I do like writing poems every now and then. I do this blog. It's pretty much just for myself to help to process my thoughts and emotions and things I'm going through in life. It's just a journal. I don't know how much of an artistic outlet this is, but my blogs are for me, but it's definitely a way of expressing myself, or like another way of expressing myself. I do like taking photos. I love editing them. And yeah, music and like sound design is also something that's I find it fascinating and really interesting. Yeah, but altogether, I think what I would like to really immerse myself in, like what the end goal is, to become like a really good video editor and like to tell stories through videos, short films, or just I guess conveying messages through an impelling story or something that will make you think or make you move, or just evoke an emotion in you that really makes you want to like do something about it, or like get the message. You can get the message through the emotions, instead of like me telling you something like, oh, get your life together. Instead of me telling you get your life together, I could like create an emotional story and video that will make you just kind of like come in the, like this thought just comes in the back door and you starts whispering in your mind like, I should get my life together. I should do something about, something about it. I feel like that's what really art does, or that's how like how why it's so powerful, because it really puts you in the shoes of the creator, or like it really puts you in that mindset, or gives you that feeling. You know what I mean?
I do.
I don't think this is my problem. Sometimes I don't know how to express myself with words. That's why like I create
it's inevitable.
art and that. Yeah.
All right. I love it. So your project now, it's to editing video, or you just you started? Are you studying right now?
So I do some video edit at work, because so I work as a designer for an advertising company, and we mostly work for clients that operate in the tourism sector.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times they come to us and ask us to edit videos that will make our audience to want to go to that destination. So I do some video editing at work for my own projects or for my own self. I just got signed at a new social media platform called Firework. And so it's all about 15 to 30 seconds short snackable content videos. And so basically, if I become popular on their website, they would start paying me for my content. So I really want to get into it. To be honest, like I'm falling under the problem of procrastination lately. So like I get home, I used to be like, I couldn't wait to come home and like I would have an idea and like I just couldn't wait to get to it and work on it, and I would wake up like 5 o'clock in the morning just to have an hour or two before work so I can work on it more and just like just like pop everything out and just like get it going. And lately I just come home and just like, oh, I just want to chill. I just want to lay around, and it's horrible. Like I beat myself up for it all the time. And it's just like, if it makes me feel so bad, why don't I just do it?
I promise you, I can tell by myself also, my own experience. Procrastinating is one of the first problems. I don't know, but I would say in every artist life. It's a big one. Do you have a specific message for people, or is it just a way for you to share yourself with the world?
I guess it's both. There's always a message, or like there's a feeling behind, the whatever art I'm creating, whether it's a picture or a drawing, painting, whatever. There's always some sort of message behind it. I think the message is pretty much the core of the art. Let's put it this way, like I want to say something, so I want to express myself, right? Yeah. So I use some of these skills or platforms, outlets, I don't know how many other ways I can say it, to basically convey that message or that feeling or that thought that I have inside of me. So it is both. It's a message that is coming from me, so it's my expression, my way of interpretation of it,
Yeah, it's like the perspective of the world. Your perspective.
My perspective of the world, yeah, my message, I guess.
How you see things, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm generally fascinated. What I'm like so fascinated about art is that you have this idea in your mind that is only yours, right? Because no one else can see it or feel it the way you do. And then you have to acquire all these skills that takes years to be able to do them. But you can use these skills as tools to take this little thing in your head that you have, this vision, this picture, this whatever it is, and then put it on a screen in front of people, and they can see what's in your mind. Like, to me, that's what's the most fascinating thing about just art generally, and creativity,
Yes.
that you're able to convey your message in this way. Sometimes people would tell me like, oh, you're so lucky because you're so talented. And like, I tell people, what I say back is that to be honest, like I myself, I don't really believe in talent. I don't think anyone was born or came out their mother being able to do anything. It's all comes down to passion. So I always say talent is really nothing else but the 3 P's. I call them the 3 P's: passion, practice, and patience. Because the thing is, like, if you truly want to do something, you feel heart desires it so much, you will sit down and, like, let's say, for example, when I wanted to play the guitar, because I taught myself how to play the guitar, like, I picked up the guitar and, like, do you think I was able to, like, do anything with it? No, like, I sounded horrible and my voice, everything was horrible for so long. But, like, you just have this, like, end vision or, like, this goal in your mind, like, oh, one day I might sound like that, but there's a chance I could be good if I just keep practicing. And you just put the work in it, and it took months and years until it was even just barely good, like, just barely good. And then somebody who's, like, doesn't play it at all would be like, oh, this is amazing. And it's just, compare me to someone who's been playing it for, like, 12 years or like doing it every single day. Like, I'm still shit, but like it's still, it's something.
What do you see yourself in the future regarding your creative invaders?
Okay, so this whole, you saw my Instagram, SylviaCreate. I started giving myself these projects that would take X amount of posts, X amount of time. and I was really dedicated to them. I was like, I have to get this done, whether I want it or not. And I actually really like doing them. I still like doing them, but lately I feel like it's starting to become a bit of a burden. I don't know, like, anyway, I don't want to get to it too much, but so I started SylviaCreate because I was thinking maybe I could just, get a bit of audience. Meanwhile, I started working on this website that you saw. Before I told anyone, like, ever that this even exists, I was working on it for like about a year, just writing blogs, just getting it together, and it was just happening like low-key behind the scenes. And then once I thought like it's good enough to like, for people to see it, then I started, like, I already had some audience on Instagram, and I started telling them like, hey, check out my blog or check out my website, do this and that. So I started designing t-shirts.
Yeah, I was going to ask you to show it after. I thought to share a blog and to get a blog to be known, it's really harder than making an Instagram or YouTube or anything in general.
Yeah.
It's like the most difficult thing, but it's great. So you have an audience now on Instagram, and you were telling me what you do you share your blog.
Yeah, so I started this website, and the whole idea behind the website was, because to be honest, when I started this whole thing, I had no idea where this is gonna head or what it's gonna grow into. I still not 100% sure, but I kind of have this idea or this vision, desire to turn my art, like my personal projects, into something I could maybe get some income out of. So I could, maybe work less for corporate organizations. I could, have more time for my own art. So that's why I was like, oh, maybe I could design shirts or like could paint. That's my painting. Or, just create something that I could physically sell to people. And and if that took off, then, as I said, my hopes for the future with my art, that I could just do it full time and I don't have to worry about getting, having to go to work like regularly. Like, I don't see myself in the office for the rest of my life, even if it's, design or art. Like, if you ask me like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, what is it that I want to do? It's like, oh, I want to be a graphic designer. That's all I want. And now I'm a graphic designer, and I'm like, no, that's not what I want. I just want to become an independent artist or creator. Yeah. And I was going to ask about, the pictures, the paintings that your girlfriend is selling. You told me. Where is she selling them, or how she's doing this?
She's selling them throughout Facebook, not the marketplace, but she's sharing them in groups. I think that's the best way, because Facebook, it's universal and you have it everywhere you go. So you can find out about groups. You can share it independently in those groups closer to you, of course. I don't know how you do with shipping. I'm doing shipping internationally. It's just the cost of shipping depends where you are and where, because some merch is made in the States and some merch is being made in the UK. So shipping costs like depends on where you are and where the merch is being made. Yeah, that's great. So, but you have something. You have some merch in your house, right?
Well, I got some for myself, just so, first of all, when I design it, I like to, get a sample and see like how it actually looks, because if it's shit, I don't want, people to be disappointed and be like, oh, the printing is not good or something,
Yeah, that's the best way, I think so, to quality check. All right, so, okay, I think merch is the best way today to support an artist. because you won't be able, not always, to buy something. I mean, I don't sell my photographs, my photos or my edits. I don't sell them because I think art should be free. But also I have this thing that we have to live. We have to eat. We have to pay rent, bills.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like trouble for me. I don't think people would.
I don't think that art has to be free, you know. In fact, some art is really expensive.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, but I think, first of all, like art and generally like creative endeavors and skills, you know, it's a skill. Like not everybody can do it or will do it. So if you're able to do it, you know, just how like doctors are able to operate people because they have the skills, or lawyers able to practice law and, you know, help people, you know, those people are getting paid for what they know and for their skills. So
yes,
why can't artists be paid for their skills and, you know, what they do? So never feel bad for, you know, selling your art or asking money for your skills that, you know, you acquired and you put so much time and effort and money and, you know, invested your camera and lights and your brushes, everything, and that costs money for you. Like you can't go into the store and be like, can you give me this brush for free? Because, you know, that costs money.
They won't.
You know, just like your art does. A lot of people, you know, like if I post something on Facebook and obviously my friends see it, like let's say I draw something and I did a video of me drawing one of the pictures that you probably saw, and I fast forwarded it, put music under, and then just put it out there just for fun, just for people to, you know, see. And I got a bunch of messages, oh, could you draw my girlfriend for me, or could you draw my dog for me, or could you do this, or could you design a logo, or do da 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 da, and expecting everything for free because, oh, you, and I'm like, and then I ask, like, so what's in it for me? And they're like, well, you like doing this, don't you? It's like, you know, it's just another picture for you.
Well,
I'm like,
that's fair.
I see it, but you know, if I do it for free, then I'm gonna pick my own thing, what I want to do. You know, I'm not gonna work for you for free. You know, it's just people are just expecting it because it's art and because, you know, I don't know what it is in their head, but just kind of, especially if they're your friends, they're just like, yeah, she's gonna do it for free. You know, 'cause she likes doing it. You know.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, and you're right. I'm putting this into perspective, and that's right. I'm 100% agree with you. I myself, I don't charge people because it's like I'm shy to do it. I don't know, but
Don't be.
I shouldn't be because all of what you just said.
It costs money for you.
Yeah, that's right. And time.
It's time. Time is money.
Time's money. That's right.
That's it. Well, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong doing stuff for free because, you know, especially if you're starting out and you're not quite 100% sure where your skills are and you just need practice. And there are people that would like, hey, you want to do something for me, so you can, you know, it's a give and take. You have some work that you could, you know, practice on and put it to your portfolio, or you know, as long as you're getting something out of it, it's not necessary for free because you're getting something out of it. It's not money. It might be practice, might be.
It's like a trade.
It's a trade, but I feel like after a certain point, when you're like start to become confident about your skills, like it shouldn't, you know, if you keep doing everything for free, then, you know, when are you gonna turn it into a profession? Or, you know, it could be, you know, it should be a passion that, you know, you enjoy doing, but it also pays your bills because at the end of the day, we live in a world, we have to pay our bills.
That's true, and that's a dream also to work about something you like, you're passionate about. So I'm sorry I didn't talk much about myself. It's like I wanted to do it more about yourself because I saw your stuff and I was like, I want to get to know this girl. I mean, I love to meet people in general, It's like something I enjoy to ask people about themselves, knowing their story, how did they get there, and this is like the first step or first thing that came into mind when we talk about collabing. I've been thinking about, well, have you seen Lloyd Producciones? It's my Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we can do something in the future.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to say to people right now? People watching this? Maybe an advice, tip to follow their passions, to charge for their photography.
don't get stuck in the job that you don't like, because it's not worth it. And but first step is always find your passion, what it is that makes you happy, and then you can move on to the next step, because you can't really pursue your passions until you don't know what they are, right?
Yeah.
So just take some time to sit down and think about all the things that you enjoy doing, and then once you found what it is that you like, then go for it. Yeah, I think life is too short to do things or be pushed into things that we don't enjoy doing, because it's time that we don't get back. So I guess that's what I would like to say. My messages.
It's amazing. I really like it, and it's like I knew from the beginning when we started talking, I knew it would be a really great interview, a great talk, right? But it was like even more of what I was expecting, and really thank you for sharing, because not everyone is up to it.
It's my pleasure.
And I really enjoyed it. So we should try to do this any other time. It was really great.
It's always nice. Just keep creating, right?
It's been great to talk to you. Seriously. Really nice to meet you. The merch. Show me the merch. Or show the people the merch.
Okay, so this is one shirt. It just says feel, and then I have, as I told you, I have this little slogan or something I like to say, like art makes us feel, feelings make us think, thoughts make us act, actions make a change. So there are 4 shirts on my website. So one says feel, one says act. No, one says feel, think, act, and change. Yeah. So, and I don't know, I just had this idea, like I could do like full print shirts if you give me 1 second. So I've got this shirt, and there's another one that's like a full print shirt.
That a drawing?
No, it's a photo. There's a website called Unsplash, and you can get like royalty free, like really good quality from photographers, professional photographers. They upload their photos. I've uploaded some photos as well, and so they give permission to use their photos for whatever you like to use, and they're really good. So I really like this one, for example, and I just put it on a shirt.
I really like the concept of that painting that you have behind you.
Oh, this one?
I really like it.
I don't know if we can see anything.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So ideally, in an ideal world, I get my shit together and I paint more, and then I can start to sell those. Sorry, am I not allowed to cut?
No, it's okay. I have no problem with it.
Sorry.
This is YouTube. You can do whatever you want.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
you can, but here you can. Nobody knows me, so it's okay.
You can beep it out. Right?
Yeah, it's about being free also. It's hard. We're artists, so we should be free.
We're really expressive, aren't we? Yeah, so in an ideal world, I'm gonna start painting more, and those will be available as well. So yeah,
that'd be great.
Well, it was really nice to meet you and talk to you.
Thank you, and to you too. Really.
Thank you for taking your time, and That's nice. Thank you so
You
much.
too. Seriously, I'm really grateful because, as I told you, not a lot of people do it. Whoa!
Oh my god! Look, he's attacking me.
If you happen to have any message or you have like a theme to talk about, anyway, anytime you can talk to me and we can do it.
Okay.
I'd love to.
Yeah. I'll have a think about it and get back to you.
All right, we'll do it. Thank you.
Thank you very much again, and have a lovely day.
You too. Have a nice
Go and eat my dinner. It's getting cold.